Try something right now. Turn off everything. The music, the podcast, the TV in the background. Just sit there in total silence. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Most of you won't make it. Not because you're weak, not because you're addicted to your phone, but because something inside your brain is screaming at you to stop. And that scream has a reason. It's older than language, older than fire, and it kept your ancestors alive. Here's why silence terrifies you. 200,000 years ago, your ancestors lived on the African savanna, and the savanna was never quiet. Insects buzzed, birds called to each other, wind moved through the grass. Sound meant safety. It meant the ecosystem around you was functioning normally, but when the sound stopped, something was wrong. When birds go silent, it means a predator is near. Every animal on the savanna knows this rule. Silence is the sound of something about to kill you. Biologists call it the acoustic landscape. Every environment has one. A forest, a grassland, a wetland. Each produces a constant layer of background noise. Frogs, cicadas, rustling leaves. Your brain was built to monitor this landscape every second of every day without you even knowing it. It's running in the background right now. Even as you watch this video, your auditory cortex is scanning for breaks in the pattern, for sudden silences, for anything that doesn't belong. You're doing it right now. You just can't feel it. In 2010, a team of researchers at the University of Sussex published a study on what they called acoustic threat detection. They played subjects recordings of natural environments, birdsong, wind, flowing water, and measured their stress responses. When the recordings were normal, cortisol levels stayed flat. But when the researchers suddenly removed all sound, just 2 seconds of silence, cortisol spiked. 2 seconds. That's all it took. The subjects weren't in danger. They were sitting in a lab. But their bodies reacted as if a predator had just entered the room. 200,000 years of evolution activated in 2 seconds of quiet, and your brain learned this lesson so deeply that it still fires the same alarm today. When you sit in a quiet room in 2026, your amygdala, the brain's threat detector, activates. Not a lot, not a panic attack, just enough to make you feel uncomfortable, just enough to make you reach for your phone. But that ancient alarm is only the surface. In 2001, a neuroscientist named Raichle discovered something unexpected. He was running brain imaging experiments at Washington University, and he noticed that when people weren't doing anything, their brains didn't quiet down. They got louder. Raichle had found a network of brain regions that only switches on when you stop focusing on the outside world. He called it the default mode network. The default mode network is made up of 3 major brain regions. The medial prefrontal cortex, which handles self-reflection, the posterior cingulate cortex, which connects your memories to your emotions, and the angular gyrus, which helps you imagine other people's perspectives. Together, these 3 regions form a circuit that only activates when you stop doing things and start thinking about yourself. And what does this network do when it turns on? It replays your past, it rehearses your future, it judges you, it reminds you of every embarrassing thing you've ever done. It runs a highlight reel of your worst moments. This is why silence feels unbearable. It's not that nothing is happening, it's that too much is happening. Your brain, left alone with no input, turns on you. And there's a reason it does this. Evolutionary psychologists believe the default mode network evolved as a social survival tool. On the savanna, your survival depended on your tribe. If the tribe rejected you, you died. So your brain developed a system that constantly reviews your social standing. Did I offend someone? Did I make a mistake? Does the group still accept me? That voice in your head that replays awkward conversations at 2 in the morning? That's not a glitch. That's a feature. It was designed to keep you alive by keeping you anxious about your place in the group. The problem is, it never turns off. Even when the tribe is gone. Even when the savanna is a living room. Even when the only predator is your own reflection. And someone proved just how far people will go to avoid this. In 2014, psychologist Timothy Wilson ran a study at the University of Virginia. The setup was absurdly simple. He put people in a room, alone. No phone, no book, no music. Just a chair and their own thoughts. They were told to sit quietly for 6 to 15 minutes. That's it. Just sit and think. But there was one more thing in the room. A button. If you pressed it, it would give you a painful electric shock. Every participant had already tried the shock before the experiment. Every single one said they would pay.